all right, because this is the thing, and there's going to be a lot of people who obviously listening to this are sort of like they're already sold on it. But if you had to sell this to someone who's never seen that sort of genre, not a huge action fan, like what's your elevator pitch to get someone to watch this?
I think it's like nothing you've ever seen. And I think, and I'm very aware, like when we're talking about Indian cinema, which has a huge heritage, but we're coming to it super, super late. Like, I don't want to sort of talk about it in a way that sounds like I'm being patronizing or like that it hasn't existed this whole time, but it reminds me of like when I was a teenager and I was discovering Asian cinema, like Hong Kong cinema for the first time. You're just like presented with things that are unfamiliar in a really exciting way. And like their way of storytelling and this incredible, like making like if there were ever a movie that you should see on the biggest screen possible, this is it. It has everything. It has an interval that, which again is something common in Indian cinema, because apparently they make loads of money
we
selling
used to have
snacks
them.
and drinks. We used to have them because it was because of the reels on the cinema, but now that it's all digital, there's no need for that. However, in India, they still make shit tons of money from the interval, I guess, and it's what's also interesting about the interval is that there is the thing called the interval block, which is basically the scene that happens before the interval, which is like a super denouement or like a super huge thing, a cliffhanger, a mega cool scene. And in this movie, I think it's my favorite scene in the whole movie. Like it's just this an action scene that like just blew my mind. Then there's an interval, which it says on screen, there wasn't for us. It just rolls straight through. So then when it restarts, after say you've gone and got some food, gone to the toilet, it kind of goes like the graph goes from 11 and then it brings you back down to like 3. Yeah. Starts off slow again, starts telling the story again, and then builds up almost like a whole nother movie, like 2 separate hour-and-a-half movies.
Because you told me there was an interval beforehand. Then when it came up on screen, I literally turned to you and said, "That's the interval. Like we're halfway now."
Yes, because it was so fucking cool that should have been the end of the movie. Oh,
yeah. That's incredible. There's a ton. Yeah, a lot.
That was not an elevator pitch. I realized that. That was like what I did last summer essay.
Yeah, that was. I've started talking to this guy in the party, and he's gonna keep going
around the room. Yeah,
he's gonna keep going.
So if I could tell you a little bit more about my idea for my startup.
What are your action replays?
That is God.
Is that possible?
If it's one moment, if it's
let's see if Emil can do a very succinct pitch though.
Pitch for this?
Yeah.
The reason you should see it is it's every single genre there has ever been, and in itself is a new one. So for me, it's impossible for anybody not to enjoy this movie. And if you don't, please seek help.
Brilliant.
Yes, that was actually much better than mine.
Well, I realized there's only 4 floors in this building and I have to hurry up.
I read someone say in a review or on Twitter, like every scene in this movie goes harder than it needs to.
Yes.
Like every scene is turned up to 11. So it's like the drama is like hand-wringing, emoting. And then it's like a bromance movie. And there's like a 5-minute montage of these guys making friends, and it's just
like 2 cartoon boys. Like
so beautiful.
There's a shot which makes no sense of them running alongside a steam train, and then as it passes them, they jump up in the air like fist pumping.
Yes,
and there's a huge burst of steam.
No spoilers.
Yeah. I realized all right, I could definitely talk about that. But in the montage, it's just there to serve. Like, look at how happy these 2 boys are with each other. They love each other.
And that, I think, is what I missed in Ambulance. Is that I didn't really give a shit about the characters. Whereas in this, yes, it's a 3-hour movie, but they spend time like making you care about them. In that section, after the romance, it goes to like a rom-com where one of them is trying to sort of woo this posh English lady. And then that segs into this incredible song and dance number where you're like, I didn't know I liked song and dance numbers in the middle of action movies. It turns out I fucking love them. It was amazing.
Because it goes hard. And I think that's the best way without any spoilers, even though in my mind it's 3 hours long. Even if you mention this, you're going to either forget it or it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things.
We haven't even mentioned the tiger.
Exactly. There's so much that we're forgetting or can't talk about, because it is also, it's nice to pick out something on the menu and still you can enjoy that meal even though you know exactly what's coming. But if you say let the chef bring you whatever he thinks is good.
Great analogy.
You're gonna enjoy that much more. I think that's absolutely true.
As I said to Matt earlier, I could tell you exactly what happens in this entire movie, and I still don't think it would spoil your enjoyment of the experience of watching it. And I'm so glad that you're gonna get to see it
can't wait.
in a cinema.
It makes me so happy. This is, and I afterwards as well, the instant it's done, I need to get more people to watch this. This movie can bring about world peace if we all just gather around this. We understand. There's no reason for any wars to happen. If we can make this movie,
is it like the monologue
wrong with
Rocky IV, the Rocky IV monologue?
It's that exact same feeling of the end of Rocky IV. Yeah.